Hello students, welcome to AIMS India's live class session. So today from physics subject, light topic we are going to continue, and the subtopic is spherical mirrors. So actually this plane mirror and about some basics of light already you have learned. In yesterday's class also some basics we have discussed. So let's move on to spherical mirrors from today's topic. So the spherical mirrors. Here, in your daily life, you might have observed the spherical mirrors, but you might have not given much attention to that. But in your daily life, around your surroundings, you will find so many kinds of spherical mirrors. If you take the example of spoon in a kitchen, the outer side of the spoon, if you look your image through the outer side of the silver spoon, so there your image will be in one way. If the same image, if you look from inner side of the spoon, the image will be different. Actually, these two are the examples of spherical mirrors. So not only these two, you might have observed solar cooker or this rear view mirror in the vehicles, rear view mirror, which we used to see the vehicles which are coming from backside. We will see from the mirror which is attached to the side part of the vehicles. So it is an example of spherical mirror. So today about that mirrors we are going to learn. So actually these are the most common type of curved mirrors. These spherical mirrors are the most common type of curved mirrors, because the surface of the spoon here it is curved. It is not like flat plane mirror. If you touch the surface of spoon or if you touch the surface of plane, you can identify the difference. The plane mirror, it's like a flat surface, whereas spoon will be somewhat up and down, upside down, somewhat curved surface will be there, either bulging outwards if you see from one part, or bulging or caved inside, or curved inwards, either curved outwards or curved inwards. You can feel that just by touching the plane mirror and spoon. So plane mirror is a flat surface. Curved mirrors they are either curved inwards or curved outwards surfaces. Okay, as they are curved, we call them as spherical. Mirrors. Why? Means the shape of a sphere will be circle. The surface of the sphere will be like a curve. So here, if you take the spoon here the spoon is reflecting the light. Because of that, we are able to see the image. So whatever images we are seeing outside, or whatever things visible to us, they are only because of the light and its main property called reflection property. Because of the reflection property of the light, we are able to observe things around us. We are able to observe images inside the mirrors. So here, for light, for reflection of light, it needs some kinds of surfaces called reflecting surfaces. This light will be get reflected because of the reflecting surfaces. Okay, these reflecting surfaces are spherical, so that's why we call them as spherical mirrors. If you observe here, we have one plane mirror which is in circle shape. We have one spherical mirror called convex mirror. This is also in circle shape. Here we have one more spherical mirror, concave mirror. It is also in circle shape. From this, what we can tell, the reflecting surface never depend on the shape. Never depend on the shape. Because plane mirror, it is in circle shape. We cannot call it a spherical mirror because of the shape. So for telling it spherical mirror, we have to see its surface. Have you understood, students? If you want to tell if a mirror is spherical or not, how we can tell? Based on shape, can we tell? We can't, because three are in circle shape. Based on shape, we can't tell. But how can we tell? Based on touching. If they are flat, plane mirrors. If they are curved outwards, curved inwards, spherical mirrors. Like that, by touching or by their surface, we can tell. Not by the shape. Not by the shape. Okay. So here, this curved mirror, convex mirror, curved outwards. Curved outwards. Here it is concave mirror, curved inwards. These two are the examples of spherical mirrors. This is the example of plane mirror. Okay. So actually, how to make a plane mirror? How to make a plane mirror? So we have to take a hollow glass sphere. We have to take a hollow glass sphere. What we have to take? We have to take hollow glass sphere. What is the meaning of hollow here? Empty. Hollow stands for empty. There is nothing inside the sphere. Only outer part is there. Outer surface is there. It is filled with empty space inside. So that is hollow glass sphere. From that hollow glass sphere, I am taking a part of this part. This black dark color part is there, no? This part, M dash. This M dash part, if I cut it out, if I take it out, this M dash part, this M dash part, if I take it out, this is what? Part of a sphere. This is what? Part of a sphere, which is having glass surface on both sides, which is having glass on both sides. So what we do, that glass surface, to make it reflecting surface, what we have to do means, one end at one surface, we have to coat it with silver nitrate. Silver nitrate, and for protection, we can make use of red paint, so that one part is coated, one surface is coated with silver nitrate, other surface acts like a reflecting surface. So other surface, light falls on the other surface and reflected back into the space. So what we have done, from the sphere, one part we have taken it out, which is having two surfaces made of glass. So one surface we are applying silver nitrate, so that other part will act like reflecting surface. If you want proof, you can take one plane mirror, open the frame, look back on the plane mirror, you will observe red paint on one end, other surface will be glass surface. If other surface is coated, then only front part will act like reflecting surface. In the same way, for spherical mirror also we are doing like that. Spherical mirror also we are doing like that. Okay. So this part. So in this way, we will make the spherical mirror. Suppose if I cut this part not from this side, from this side, if I cut this part like this part I am cutting, this part I am cutting, what I will do here, outer part I will coat with silver nitrate, outer part I will coat with silver nitrate, inner part will be glass surface. Inner part will be glass surface. If light falls on inner part, then it will be reflected back or it will reflect in another way based on conditions. So here the curved, which is curved inwards, it is acting like reflecting surface. So we call it as concave mirror, because curved inwards part is acting like reflecting surface. So this is curved outwards part is acting like reflecting surface. So that's why we call it as convex surface. Sorry, convex mirror. Convex mirror. So if we take any one part from a sphere, according to our wish, we can make it a convex mirror or we can make it a concave mirror according to our use, according to our that condition, according to our usage. Okay. So in this way, we can make two kinds of mirrors, convex mirror and concave mirror. Convex mirror and concave mirror. So these mirrors are associated with some terminology. These mirrors are associated with some terminology. Very, very important terminology. So what we have told, what is mirror? Is it complete sphere? Is a curved mirror, is it complete sphere? No, it's a part of complete sphere. So here, what is C here? C is the center part of complete sphere. C is the center of complete sphere. Of that complete sphere, mirror is a part. Mirror is a part. So here C stands for center of curvature. Center of curvature of the sphere of which mirror is a part. Okay, children. Children, be careful, listen carefully. What is center of curvature? Because in physics, for getting marks, you have to write definitions according to correct terminology. So what is center of curvature? Center of curvature is a point or is the center of the sphere, not mirror. Center of the sphere of which mirror is a part. For that sphere, mirror is a part. We call it as center of curvature. Otherwise, if we assume complete sphere, so that center point will be called as a center of curvature whose symbol is C. Whose symbol is C. Okay. So next, this part is mirror. Which part? M dash part. For this part also, this is the circumference. This is the circumference of the mirror from which reflection will happen. This circumference of the mirror, this total part, we call it as aperture. A-P-E-R-T-U-R-E. Understand, children? Understood, children? It is called as aperture. What is aperture? The surface, the reflecting surface. The circumference of the reflecting surface is called aperture. What is P here? P is the middle point of the aperture. Middle point of the aperture or middle point of the sphere, which is present on the sphere, which cut the mirror into two equal parts. Which cut the mirror into two equal parts. So here P is the middle point on the aperture, which cuts the mirror into two equal parts. Upper half, lower half, two equal parts. That is pole. Okay. From pole to center of curvature, from P to C, whatever distance is there, we call it as radius of curvature. We call it as radius of curvature. Okay. The line joining P, joining C and extended, that is known as principal axis. That is known as principal axis. Principal axis means main. Principal of the school means main person of the school who will manage the school. Here for finding the image, this principal axis is very important. So that's why the line joining the pole and center of curvature, we call it as principal axis. Okay, what are the terms here? C for center of curvature, P for pole, R for radius of curvature. This line is principal axis. This mm dash is aperture. Here radius means not only this line from the center to the mirror, any line. This line also radius, this line also radius, this is also radius, this is also radius. Like circle, all radius, all radii, they are equal. All radii, they are equal. Here children. So this reflecting surface, it may be curved inwards or it may be curved outwards. Curved inwards or it may be curved outwards. Curved outwards. The curved, if it is curved inward, then it is called as a concave mirror. Concave mirror. If it is curved outwards, then it is called as a convex mirror. Like this, we have two types of spherical mirrors. They are concave mirror and convex mirror. Okay, children. Any doubt, children, regarding here up to here? Any doubt, children? Any doubt? Somebody asking how many parts of this chapter? It depends on explanation. If some topics may take more time, some topics may take less time. It depends. Any doubt, children? Okay. Somebody asking radius. It's not radius summa. We have to tell radius of curvature. For circle, we have to tell radius. But for mirror, we have to tell radius of curvature. Center of curvature. Okay. Aperture. Aperture means surface, reflecting surface. The total reflecting surface is called aperture. Here, what is the aperture from M to M dash? This total part is aperture, circumference of the reflecting surface. Forget about this hollow glass. Only for making mirror. For making mirror, we have taken the help of hollow glass. Once the mirror is formed, remaining part we should omit. This total part we should not consider. Only this mirror only we have to consider. Other part no need. Okay. Pole. Pole means the middle point on the aperture or the middle point on the surface of the mirror, which make mirror into two equal parts. Which make mirror into two equal parts. What is M? M dash. It's a curved line. Curved line which represents mirror. Curved line which represents mirror. Hollow glass. Hollow means empty. Empty glass sphere. Okay, children? Next slide. Let's go to next slide. Okay. So, here we have concave mirror, convex mirror. Concave mirror, convex mirror. So, already we have told for concave mirror, reflecting surface. Here we have the word concave, means curved inwards. Reflecting surface is curved inwards. So, this curved inwards. So, this part, this red color I am drawing now, this curved inwards parts, it acts like reflecting surface. What about other part? Other part will be coated with silver nitrate. It acts like a hard surface. From there, reflection will not take place. So, light will come from this side. Light will come from left side, touches this part. Reflection happens from this part. Reflection happens from this part. So, this is considered as reflective surface. Reflective surface. So, curved inwards part is reflective surface. We call it as concave mirror. We call it as concave mirror. Okay. Next, convex mirror. Convex mirror means curved outward part will act like reflecting surface. Here one curve is there, here one curve is there. We have two curves, 1, 2. Which curve? Curved outwards. This is curved outwards. This curved outwards parts acts like reflective surface. The other part will be coated with silver paint. So this acts like hard surface. So light comes from left side, touches this part, reflects or refracts. It depends. So this is an example of convex mirror. Okay. Based on the type of reflective surface, we can tell concave or convex. Next one. What is see here? If it is assumed like a circle or sphere, if it is assumed like a sphere, so then the center part will be the center of curvature. See here. For here also, if it is assumed like a sphere, so then the center will be known as center of curvature. See, what is pole P, which makes mirror into two parts, upper half, lower half. This is pole. Here also makes into two parts, upper half, lower half, pole. Okay. What is radius of curvature? From center of curvature to pole, CP. This distance is known as R. It is not mentioned here in the diagram, so we can write it as R. What is radius of curvature? From pole to center. This PC distance is known as radius of curvature, R. What is principal axis? Principal axis is a line. Principal axis is a line. Which line? The line joining the pole and center of curvature. The line joining the pole and center of curvature and extended left side, right side. The line joining the pole and center of curvature, extended right side, extended left side. This line is known as principal axis. This line is known as principal axis. Okay. Here we have one more point called F. One more point is there, F. This is very important point because the image formation mainly depends on this point. Mainly depends on this point. It is nothing but focus. It is nothing but focus. Here, focus. Okay. Somebody asking what is Y? Y means axis. Like x-axis, y-axis are there? No. X-axis, y-axis. This line name is Y. It's not compulsory that always vertical line is Y. This line is there. This principal axis line is there. We named it as Y. That's all. It's a name of line. Y is the name of line. Why it is Y? Please don't ask like that. We can take any symbol. Here we have taken Y. We can take L, we can take M according to our wish. Okay. So what is focus? Focus. Very important, children. What is focus means? Suppose the light rays after touching the mirror, they will reflect back. They will reflect back. The light rays after touching the mirror, they will reflect back. How they will reflect? They appear in such a way that all reflector rays are passing through one point. All reflector rays, when they will reflect? When they will reflect? After touching the mirror. After touching the mirror, this line, after touching the mirror, it will reflect back. This line, after touching the mirror, reflect back. All the reflector rays, they will meet at a point. So that point is known as focus. That point is known as focus. Okay. Next. that point is known as focus. So here, convex mirror. In convex mirror also, the light rays which are passing, they will touch, and here suppose if they reflect like this, if they reflect like this, one minute, or suppose if they okay, let's discuss while ray diagrams. Again, you will get confused here. So here, focus means, what is focus? The reflector rays, the meet at a point. The reflector rays meet at a point. So they are known as meet at a point. That point is known as focus. That point is known as focus. Sometimes they do not meet. Sometimes they do not meet. They appear to meet, which we are going to learn in next slides. So that is also known as focus. Here the distance between pole and focus, this length is known as focal length. This length is known as focal length. Okay, children? Any doubt regarding this? Any doubt regarding this? Any doubt, children? This focal length will be half of the radius. The value of this focal length will be always half of the radius, because here focal length is denoted by the symbol F. From pole to center of curvature, whatever length we have, this is known as radius of curvature. This value is equal to 2f. So what we can write? R equal to 2f. R equal to 2f. R, focal length equal to R by 2, half of the radius of curvature. Focal length will always be equal to half of the radius of curvature. What is this focus? The point where the reflector rays really meet or appear to meet, that point is known as focus. That point is known as focus. From pole to focus, whatever length is there, that is focal length, which is half of the radius of curvature. Half of the radius of curvature. Okay, children? Any doubts? The rays are not understand. Okay, children? It will come. In next slide about rays we are going to learn. Okay. So this is only about terms. Up to focal length, I think it is clear. Okay. Let's go to next slide. So let's repeat the terms once again. What is pole? What is pole? The center of the reflecting surface, not sphere. The center of the reflecting surface in a spherical mirror is called pole. Its symbol is P. Okay, next. What is center of curvature? So the reflecting surface in a spherical mirror, it will have a center. That sphere will have a center of which the surface is a part. That is called as center of curvature. Okay. So this will lies in front. You will learn in the slides, in the next slides. Here, center of curvature means center of the sphere of which mirror is a part. Radius of curvature. What is radius of curvature? From pole to center of curvature, PC. This distance is known as radius of curvature, represented by R. So next, principal axis. Principal axis means straight line. Which straight line? Passing through pole and center of curvature. Passing through pole and center of curvature. Why? What is the importance of principal axis? With the help of principal axis, we can find the location of image, position of image. Okay. Principal focus. Principal focus means the reflector rays appear to come from a point or appear to meet at a point. After reflection, all rays appear or really meet at a point. That meeting point is called principal focus. Focus means concentrating on something. Here, what will concentrate? All the rays will concentrate towards one point. When after reflection, that point is known as principal focus. Okay. So next, focal length. What is focal length? Distance between pole. Pole means the point which makes two parts. Distance between pole and focus. Distance between pole and focus. Symbol small f. Symbol small f. Or sometimes capital F. Aperture. What is aperture? Diameter. The diameter of the reflecting surface. So whatever reflecting surface is there, that reflecting surface diameter is called aperture. So why means? Because some of them will have small aperture. Some of the mirrors will have small aperture. Their diameter is very, very small. Small mirrors. Some of them aperture will be larger. Their diameter is larger. So big mirrors. Based on aperture, we can tell whether the mirror is small or mirror is large. Mirror is small or mirror is large. Aperture. So radius of curvature is twice the focal length. Twice the focal length. Or focal length is half of the radius of curvature. Half of the radius of curvature. Okay. Okay, ma? Next. Okay, ma? These are the terms just now we have discussed. Principal focus, pole, aperture means here diameter, because circle will have diameter. Circle will have diameter, which is the longest chord. According to mathematics, longest chord of the circle is diameter. This diameter is known as aperture. Based on the aperture, we can tell whether it is small mirror or large mirror. Okay, these are the terms. Okay, 1 minute. Here, let's see the behavior of this convex mirror and concave mirror. Convex mirror and concave mirror. Because if you are in front of the mirror, if you are in front of a mirror, if you move back and front, if you move back and front, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen to you. Happen to your image. You cannot observe much change in your image. But whereas if you stand in front of a concave mirror or convex mirror, there, and if you move forward and backward, you will observe different kinds of changes that we are going to discuss now. Here, if the object is candle, now object is at a larger distance. Please children, don't talk personally. Somebody is starting something. We have to complain to your school managements. Don't talk personal. Don't chat personally, ma. Please listen to the topic. So here, one candle, one object we have taken. So here, this part curved inwards. Here this part, curved inward part, from here reflection is happening, so it is a concave mirror. So I have a object candle, I have a curved mirror, I have a all rays, no rays are there. This is a curved mirror, curved inverse mirror, concave mirror. Now what is our main concept is, if the object moves, what happens to the image? We have taken an image, candle, we have taken a candle placed in front of a concave mirror. Now I am moving the candle nearer to it, farther to it. What happens to the image of the candle? Because based on this only, we have constructed rear view mirrors of the vehicles. Rear view mirrors of the vehicles. If you go to DMart shop or any big shopping mall, on the ground floor, one big mirror will be there. Very big mirror will be there. That mirror, what it will do? Its field of view will be more. Field of view will be more. It will, from, if we see in the mirror, we can observe all the vehicles which are in the parking area. So like that, based on this only, in our real life, we are developing some scientific instruments which will make our works easier. To construct any such kind of instrument, we have to learn the concept. So what concept we are learning here? We have taken a candle, we have taken a concave mirror, we are moving the candle and we are observing how the image will change. Now where is the candle? At a very large distance, at infinity. Now I am moving the candle. Towards the concave mirror. What is 2f here? 2f stands for radius of curvature. Here we cannot write anything on this simulation, on this animation. So please observe this point. This 2f point, 2f stands for double the focal length. Double the focal length means radius of curvature. Radius of curvature means that point is known as center of curvature. I am moving the candle. First it is at infinity. From there, when it is at infinity, the image is very, very small. Image is downside, formed downside, inverted. Because it is up and down, it is inverted here, formed on the same side of the mirror, left side of the mirror. If I bring it closer, what is happening to the image? You can observe there. If I bring it closer, the image size is becoming bigger. If I bring it to center of curvature, exactly at C, what happens? At center of curvature, both the images look same size. At center of curvature, object size and image size will be the same. But still, how is the image inverted? Okay, if I move still, what happens? Still the image will become bigger. If I still move to F, to focus, where is the image? Image went somewhere else, to infinity. Image went somewhere else means to larger distance means the distance which is more than this one means infinity. If I still bring closer, what happens to the image? Image will be formed on the other side of the mirror. Means inside the mirror. Like this, the behavior of the image is changing. How? Based on the location of the object. Have you understood, children? Here what we are going to understand. Please don't feel it is difficult. In our real life, it is happening. You can take a concave mirror. Practically, you can do this because practically you can take one candle, you can take one concave mirror or convex mirror, you can move it and you can observe. You can move it and you can observe. Okay, here we are changing the location of the candle, and based on that, how is the image changing? That we are observing. Okay, first, where is it? It is at long distance. If the given distances are small, if the taken distance is long, we call it as infinity. We call it as infinity. Means comparing to smaller values, larger value is infinity. Okay, image is at infinity. Object is at infinity. The image is formed. Where it is formed? What is F here? Between focus and between center of curvature. Here 2F stands for center of curvature. Between focus and center of curvature. No, sorry, here not infinity. Between infinity and beyond C we can tell. Beyond C we can tell. So if it comes to center of curvature, what happens? The object size and image size will be the same. Okay, children, like this, based on the location of the object, image position will change, which we are going to learn in deeply in the next concept. Suppose instead of concave mirror, if I take convex mirror, sorry children, now if I take the object ABC, if I bring this side, so if the object is this side, so then this curved outward part will behave like a concave surface. Okay, time is over. So let's continue this topic in the next video. In tomorrow's class, we are going to continue the image formation because of convex mirror and because of concave mirror. Okay, children, if still anybody is having doubt, you can go to the, after some time this video will be, recorded video will be uploaded. You can go through the video for better understanding. So please subscribe our channel, children, so that whenever class is there, you will get the notification. So thank you for watching our video. Please press the bell icon for latest updates. Thank you.